there, it's Marty Gunderson again. I'm getting a ton of questions about building here in Turks and Caicos. It's actually pretty funny. There's a lot of interest from my home country, Canada. Who would have thought that with all the snowfall that people would actually want to come down to the beach? But I wanted to go through our building process. At Quidney Lifestyle Design, we have a set process where we work through with our partners, going through a process of designing and then building, and then ultimately, if you want, profiting from that beach villa. So let me walk through the process here. The first step is what we call the analysis process. So this is where you're actually looking for land. So this would be, looking for land in certain areas, and we would help with that. We work with a number of realtors and can point you in the right direction, and not necessarily not just looking for land, but also getting a sense of what design you want. So if you're coming to us and saying, we want a 2-story home that fits 8 people comfortably because we want our parents or what have you through there, then we need to make sure that the land fits with that ultimate vision that you have. And that's what we call a feasibility study. So we look at what your initial vision of the home and what the purpose of that home is. And then we make sure that the land that you have your eye on is going to fit that vision. So that's called a feasibility study. I think that's an important step. You're not wasting time when you go through your process. So that would be the first step. Once you have an idea of land, and once you have this, a design brief that we've put together, then what we do is we work together and put some concept drawings or schematic drawings together. And what those will include, they're not construction drawings, they're not production drawings, but we'll put some renderings, we'll put some floor plans together that try to grab that vision of what you have. And so we'll have some initial specifications. We'll put together those concepts. Like I said, we like to have renderings because it's quite nice to see what it would look like in 3D. And so that would be the next step, to go through the concept drawings. The step after that. So once you've approved or once you agree to these initial drawings, and a lot of times we'll go back and forth. Sometimes it's back to the drawing board, but sometimes we go through this. Yeah, let's go through this, and once we have kind of consensus among all the parties, and everybody's happy with the initial drawings, we will then go to the next phase, which is the budget pricing. So what that does is we put together a full line-by-line item of what the budget would cost for the schematic drawings that we have. Now, because it's not construction drawings, because they haven't gone through engineers just to make sure that it's structural, we give ourselves some leeway where it's going to be plus or minus 10% of this initial budget. But you should have a pretty good sense of what your cost is going to be to build this house. So once we get the approval on that, once you say, okay, we're good with that budget, then what'll happen is we'll go to drawing. So this will be the full construction production drawings. This is when we'll finish them off in typically a software program that we call Revit, which allows us to review in 3D and put together some great drawings. So once we have that, we'll put together, and we can submit these to the town or to the planning, and they'll also include not only like floor plans and elevations, but they'll include sections, they'll include structural drawings from engineers, and they'll include MEP, which is the electrical, the plumbing, and that sort of thing, mechanical. And so that include all the elements that you would need to build the home. We could take these drawings and use it to build a home. So once we get that done, then as I mentioned, they'll be fully ready for permits. So here in Turks and Caicos, depending on timing and when you get that permit process could take 1 to 3 months. Again, depending on the complexity and how we submit and propose to planning. And so we'll get that full approval in place. And what we'll also do is we'll get some, because we're done like the construction drawings, so there's no questions on what is structural or what's not. We'll be able to have some price clarity. So we'll be able to tighten up that budget so that we can guarantee this is the budget that will be used for the cost. So that's how that works. And then we'll also finalize the contract with you to build the home. So we'll have so in this phase, we'll have the permits, and while those are getting done, we'll finalize the budget, and then we'll finalize the contract. And then obviously, once we have the permit in place, and there's a few different types of permits here on the island. So once we get the full building permit, then we will go to construction. And construction means we'll start the build. But because we're involved both on the design and the build, we're always it's integrated process. So we'll have designers and the builders in the same room throughout the whole process. So there's not going to be any real surprises. It's kind of a nice, smooth transition right to construction. And so there'll be some ongoing consultation. Most of the time, there's going to be some changes. So when we build and we show people pictures, clients' pictures, a lot of times they say, "Oh, I'd like to see this sort of change," and most of the time we can do that. So that's a sort of process that it takes. Now, construction will take about I say between 9 and 14 months generally. If it's a smaller home under 2,500 square feet, we're talking maybe nine months. If it's a larger, over 5,000 square feet, you're looking more towards the 14 months. So that's the timing as it stands now. So as I mentioned, it's 9 to 14. So it's 9 to 14 months here. Permits, as I mentioned, 1 to 3 months. And then the drawings, like this whole process between 1 and 4, this should take, between 1 to 3 months. So that's the timing that you can expect. That's the process. And in previous videos, I've actually talked about the cost as well. So if that helps, I hope it does. I'm using the project planning guide, one of the pages that's on there. And if you want to see the full project planning guide, it's free. It has questions answered, like the cost, like other things. And so feel free to download it at guide.quidneygroup.com. And so you can do that. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer any questions. In fact, I think if anybody that answers, has any questions on our social media or on YouTube or anything else, I'll try to answer them at the end of next video. So we'll do that. So look forward to that. All right, thanks, and have yourself a great day. Hi, thanks for listening. If you like our videos, feel free to subscribe and click on that notification button so you don't miss any more. And if you like it, give a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put your comment below and we'll engage and interact with you. Happy to. Also, if you're looking at actually building your beach haven in Turks and Caicos, we have a free resource called a Project Planning Guide. So download it at the link below. Thanks again. Take care.